You're tuned into All2ReelToo. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by all2reeltoo.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame gazebos in Carta.
What happened to your voice?
It changed.
You're scaring me, man. Are you
Hearing you?
Are you like a dancing clown?
I am the dancing clown.
Oh boy.
Okay, no more echo. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm regretting the fact that you've got a mixer now.
I know.
No, just so anyways, how's it going there, Sesame?
I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there, without hanging in there and dealing with all the crap that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't want to be deported into like a sewer essentially and just have to live there and have my citizenship stripped from me. That makes sense. I don't know.
It might be better, actually. I mean, sometimes
maybe.
It might be a better place to live, but depends on what sewer you're going to. I mean, you could just end up hanging out with some turtles that know some ninja skills.
That'd be cool. I can learn like karate from them. Yeah. A rat that somehow knows karate or kung fu.
He could, be teaching you some good skills and stuff. Yeah, or you can end up with an alien that landed millions of years ago on the planet. But sometimes takes on the visage of a clown.
What a weird ass alien too. Like, why don't you just go back to where you came from? That's right, nationalism. Go back to where you came, Pennywise.
This whole movie is just a metaphor for immigration.
Yes, it is. Get out of here. Go back to your own planet.
So, anyways, if you haven't gathered from the, description written up in the title and the episode you chose to listen to, we are covering the 2017 film It, which, is an adaptation of a Stephen King book. It's the first half of the book. Well, actually not the first half of the book because the book's told in a different way, but we'll get into that. Yeah. The Internet Movie Database description of this film is, in the summer of 1989, a group of bullied kids band together to destroy a shape-shifting monster which disguises itself as a clown and preys on the children of Derry, their small Maine town. Yes. Yeah. This was directed by Andy Muschietti. Muschietti, people may know, unfortunately, for the fact that he directed The Flash.
You mean the movie The Flash?
Yes, with Ezra Miller. Yes. Which is one of the worst, comic book movies ever made, in my opinion.
It's bad.
But the thing is that movie just went through development hell and everything, and I don't blame him one bit. I mean, yeah. But he's also known for the film Mama, which is a horror film, and It Chapter 2, as well as creating and directing episodes of the TV series Welcome to Derry, which is a prequel series to these movies. Anyways, the film was written by Chase Palmer, who is known for this and the writer of Naked Singularity and The Alienist, as well as written by Karijogi Fukunaga. He was originally supposed to direct this movie and came up with some of the ideas for it, but he got a writing credit, but and stayed on as a producer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's known for producing True Detective and directing James Bond, No Time to Die, among other things. We also have Gary Doberman, I don't know how to pronounce his name, who is known for writing The Nun. He wrote the Salem's Lot remake, another Stephen King. He also wrote Annabelle Comes Home. He wrote, looks like several of the Annabelle, based on characters he wrote for the Annabelle series of films. And and a movie called Blood Monkey. I don't know what that's about, but I like the name. Blood Monkey.
That is it reminds me of a book I got about the Hare Krishna, the more seedier side of like the group called Monkey on a Stick.
Stick.
Well, it's because of the metaphor that the founder of Hare Krishna movement, or I mean the Krishna consciousness, actual not the movement itself, because that's been going around for like hundreds of years. But like he used to do a metaphor where sometimes farmers would kill a monkey and put it on a stick to scare all the other monkeys from trying to steal their fruits and veggies. And I'm like, okay, it's a weird ass metaphor to talk about like protecting your own community is murdering, which it kind of makes sense because it goes into a lot of these murders that took place. It's a really interesting book. Murders that took place within the Hare Krishna. Or anyway, I'm getting off going off the tangent already.
Anyways, this movie stars Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Skarsgård, Jaeden Martell as Bill Denbrough, Finn Wolfhard as Richie Tozier, Jeremy Ray Taylor as Ben Hanscom, Sophia Lillis as Beverly Marsh, Chosen Jacobs as Mike Hamlin, Jack Dylan Grazer as Eddie Kaspbrak, Wyatt Oleff as Stanley Uris. We've got Nicholas Hamilton as Henry Bowers, Jake Sims as Belch Huggins, Logan Thompson as Victor Chris, Aaron Teague as Patrick Hochstetter. We've got Jackson Robert Scott as Georgie Denbrough, Stephen Bogart as Mr. Marsh, and others. So
I'm not going to remember any of those, unfortunately. I'll try to hopefully I can remember some of the main characters.
Yeah. Well,
I'm terrible at that now. Like, I don't know. I used to be okay.
But it's fine. You don't need to know their actors' names either, so it's okay.
Is that one of the kids? Is he the kid who plays Mike in Stranger Things?
Yes.
Finn, okay, I was going to say, because he looked like...
Finn Wolfhard plays Richie in this.
Okay. Yeah. And who's Bill Skarsgård? That name sounds familiar too. Is that
Bill Skarsgård? He's comes from the Skarsgård family of actors. He's got a brother and a dad. He's like one of the best actors living. Period. Bill Skarsgård is, in my opinion.
Was he in Shattered Glass, or is that someone else?
No, that's Peter Sarsgaard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because they got it looking like weird, and he was in that one movie where it was the Green Lantern, and he looks kind of like that. So that's why I made that.
Bill is a Swedish actor.
Okay.
And his dad. I'm blanking on his dad's name here all of a sudden, but I'll look it up. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård, who he was in the Thor movies. Stellan Skarsgård played what's his name in he was also in Andor, which he was brilliant in Andor.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Andor yet, folks, watch Andor. But he played Selvig in the Thor movies.
Okay.
He's also in Dune, Part 1, and a million other things. But Bill, he also has like all of the all of his family, all the Skarsgårds act. There's Alexander, Gustav, Sam, Walter, Ossian, and Kolbjorn. So they all act.
Yeah. All right.
But Bill was also in another TV series you should really check out. It's called Castle Rock, which is based on Stephen King books as well. And Bill is in that as a totally different type of character. So yeah. Anywho, so what was your reaction to this movie?
I loved it. I mean, it fucking scared me, but
Yeah.
But this is my first introduction to it, so it's going to be interesting. Because I had not seen the earlier stuff. I never read the book. And so, this is going to be my sort of starting off point, which, everyone usually likes the first thing that they've seen first, so it's probably going to be,
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, watching the movies, It Chapter 1, which is what this is called at the end of the movie, they finally say Chapter 1. But when they released it to theaters, they didn't want to say Chapter 1 because sometimes when you call a movie Part 1 or Chapter 1, it scares people away.
Right. Or they might not do it like with Star Wars. It was just called Star Wars. It wasn't, call it New Hope or whatever.
Yeah. So I will admit that I like this one better than the sequel. The sequel's a little long. It's a little padded out, but it's still good. It's not, horrible. Maybe we'll cover that soon on this podcast or something. But it's still worth watching. And then definitely, folks, if you haven't watched the first season of Welcome to Derry, it's amazing. And I can't wait for the second season. So, yeah. But and if you can't get it, everything, I love Stephen King stuff. So I'm just like a nerd when it comes to this stuff, especially It. Like the original It miniseries is kind of a formative movie in my life. So I watched it a lot as a kid. I had a VHS copy of it. And watched it probably when I was too young at first when it came out on
I was going to say.
Yeah. And I read the book. Which I really shouldn't have done back then as a kid.
Fine.
I wish I could still find my copy. I don't know where it went. I think I threw it away eventually or something, but I gotta buy a new copy of the book. There's major differences between this new Muschietti universe of It compared to the Stephen King version of It. So it's like, there's updated time period because the book takes place in a different time period, like almost the time period that the kids are when they're younger here in this movie is the time period where they were adults in the book. So it's like, which is like 27 years later.
I mean, probably around the 90s when this movie took place, maybe late 80s. I'm thinking like
89.
89, okay.
Yeah. Like for example, the original book came out in, I believe, 86. So it was like,
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but I liked it. I was really into it. I watched it in two parts. It was kind of long, or I mean, for me at least. I'm used to watching short shit now. But I'm like a little kid. I only watch YouTube shorts, and that's not true. But like watching a full movie, I never do that shit anymore. I wish I could. It's just my attention span is just not the way it used to be, especially for this kind of movie. Because I've never really been like a scary movie type guy. But like when it's the right kind of movie, though. I like it. I'm not really into like genres. Like even when it comes to music, I'm more of like a band or a movie type person. Where if it's like a particular band that I like of a particular genre, I'm gonna stick, to that band. But I'm not necessarily gonna go and search for other bands within that same genre for the most part.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with movies too. Like It, I might not start watching a bunch of random horror movies though because I like It. You know what I mean? But this is definitely one of those movies though.
And the thing is, it's like I like horror movies. They're not my favorite genre necessarily. I mean, I don't really have a favorite genre either. But I probably like horror movies now more than I did when I was younger. Mm-hmm. Because I respect the idea that you can take things. It's like with sci-fi too. You can take something and basically tell a story about a certain subject. But if you wrap it in a horror, in a horror guise, people don't realize what you're trying to say. Because
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, this movie is about child abuse.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I mean, quite like
metaphorically. Yeah.
I mean, you start noticing pretty early on. Yeah. But interesting too, psychologically speaking, some people actually, and that's like, I think it's actually been studied a little bit too. Some people actually watch horror movies and scary movies, and like instead of it like actually making them feel worse, it like actually helps them like cope through like negative emotions. And so like it's like you would think it would be like, oh no, you're watching this terrible movie, you're gonna feel terrible afterwards. No, not necessarily.
It's like I hated the thing like when I was younger, like some adults in my life and stuff. Like I had this friend who was older than me named Randy who really liked action movies and horror movies. Mm-hmm. and I was friends with him and everything, and everybody's like, you shouldn't hang out with him. He's a bad influence. All he likes is those gory movies and stuff like that. And I was like, no, that's not, it's like he's actually really intelligent, and that's why he likes them. It's just because he understands where they're coming from,
You can analyze them, yeah. Excuse me, there, you can analyze them correctly.
But so it's interesting. So we don't necessarily have to like break down this movie, but we can talk about things we liked in it.
Yeah.
And maybe some of the differences between the book and the movie that I can go through if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, in the movie, there's no sign of Maturin the turtle. So let me explain this.
Wait, sign of what?
Maturin the turtle. Okay. Now this is going to... Okay. Maturin the turtle is Pennywise's sibling.
Oh, okay.
This is a benevolent creature, is far more than a simple animal. Maturin is an ancient deity that predates the creation of the universe. In King's lore, he is described as a cosmic being composed of pure energy, one of the 12 guardians of the beams that structurally support the Dark Tower, the nexus of all realities.
Oh, wow.
Maturin's most fantastical origin states that he once emerged from his shell in the Macroverse. It was during this act of creation that the creature known as It was also released from the primordial void, suggesting a shared through an antagonistic genesis. He's a wise and gentle giant. Maturin fills a crucial mentor-like role in the King multiverse. So he comes in these different things. And okay, so one of the things in the book, and I will remind you here, folks, not remind you, but I'll tell you, Stephen King, this was the last book he wrote when he was a coke addict.
Well, there you go.
And he came up with this idea that the whole universe was created by Maturin, the turtle, when he vomited up the universe.
Yeah, that's definitely a coke.
Yes.
Sorry. That's definitely a coke idea.
And this is something that runs in the Stephen King universe. And I like the way, Muschietti in this, and then in these two movies, there are subtle hints to turtles, but they never actually bring up Maturin because it's hard to explain.
Well, how would you do it? Because the movie is about, like you said, child abuse, and you got Killer Clown, which apparently is an alien, but now he's no ordinary killer alien. He's the sibling of like the creator of all the universe. How do you explain that? Like a movie who also dresses like a clown for some reason.
Yes. Which
it only searches out children or teenage adolescents.
Pretty much. Wow.
Kill or had them float or whatever. We all float down here. Yeah. There's no way you'd be able to explain that in like two movies.
Yeah. And it's hard enough to explain what they do explain. And
exactly.
I mean, I don't know if they'll ever get more. I'm not going to spoil anything in Welcome to Derry, but there's a lot of turtle references in that show, and even Maturin references. Like they talk about Maturin. So
I'll probably
they don't say Maturin is like this being sort of thing. So, but so that's the main difference between the book and this. It's one of the main differences. So basically, there's other things that when we get into part 2 or chapter 2, we can talk more about too. But here's some other big differences. Here is the story setting was updated to the late 80s. Stephen King's It, the narrative is split between 2 time periods. In the book, it's actually told in the present day with flashbacks. So you kind of learn what happens to the kids. Because, so I'm not ruining anything by this, because the beginning of part 2, it starts out this way. It's 27 years later. And one of the Losers Club invites all the rest of them back to Derry because they had stayed there. And but when they left Derry, they forgot all about their life there.
Oh, I see. So it's like,
so I mean, they knew they lived there, but they had kind of just forgotten about their childhood.
I wonder why they forgot about.
It's something that happens when people leave Derry.
Well, I was going to say also to a trauma response, everything they went through.
It's obviously a metaphor for trauma.
Right, yeah.
But anyways, what was I saying? So when they in the book, the way it's told is that as they're kind of remembering what happened once they return to Derry, they start to remember things. They're discovering what happened in the past at the same time as you're reading about what happened in the past.
Oh, okay.
So you've got this like dual timelines where, and if I remember correctly, because it's been years since I read it, like where each chapter is kind of dedicated to a different character in the Losers Club. So it kind of works in it's a different kind of suspenseful way, because the way that they did it, where they split it up, where it's the children's part in part one, in chapter one, and then in chapter two, it's the adult part with some children's, flashbacks that they added to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different way, because when we get to chapter two, you already know what happened to them as kids, whereas in the book, you're finding out at the same time as Bill and Mike and everybody else are finding out, or not Mike, but I mean Bill and Richie and everybody. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. The only thing I didn't like, like you said, jump around here. We don't need to go through like the exact plot. One thing I didn't. Sorry, I got weird. I got a turtle in my throat. Wait, that's not weird. A frog turtle in my no. The one thing I didn't like, but I knew was going to happen anyway because of Hollywood and it takes place in the 80s, is that I was really, 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 really hoping that Beverly would choose Ben, but it's like she's not going to choose the fat kid, obviously. So no Ben. Even though Ben's literally the one that snapped her out of her hallucination or whatever she would. Her next moment.
Wrote the poem for her, but
he wrote the poem for her.
Yeah, but
and then he fell in love with her because she was like the first person who was like nice to him, basically.
Yeah, just I'm not going to spoil anything.
Don't say anything. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
And I knew that wasn't going to happen because and it goes both ways too. Like the guy's not going to go for the fat girl as well. I'm not trying to like a gender thing. It's just it's a whatever thing.
So
I'm not one of these incels who's like, oh, I'm only gonna go for a 9 or a 10 when I'm like a 0.5, or whatever. I don't brush my teeth ever, or take a shower. You know what I mean, like that.
Well, that's how the world works. Anyway, so the story setting was updated to the 80s, whereas in like part two, the like sequel, it comes out in like the story takes place in like 2016 because it returns every 27 years. So
did they ever explain that? Why the number 27? Is that ever explained, or is that like, don't tell me how it's explained, but like
not in the scene yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
I'm thinking 27. 2 + 7 is 9, and 9 is the secret number of the universe. So I don't know if that's kind of a thing they're going with.
It could be.
I don't know. I'm just saying it could. But that was my only complaint. I mean, not really a complaint necessarily, but just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm projecting, because I've been the fat kid. I mean, not as big as this kid was necessarily, but so I was like almost like projecting my own like past. Like,
Well, the thing is that she doesn't really end up with anybody. I mean, at the end she ends up like that.
Don't tell me anything, though. I don't want to know.
Do you want to know the most disturbing thing that they definitely got rid of from this and the 1990 miniseries that is in the book?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
yeah.
So this is the biggest change. So there's a gangbang scene.
No. No.
So
in the book, he said.
Yeah, after
it's definitely a cocaine fueled book now. He's got gangbangs. He's got turtles who created the universe. Like, what the fuck, dude?
So go ahead. Here's what goes down. After defeating Pennywise, the Losers Club doesn't engage. In the movie they don't do this, but in the book they engage in a group act of losing their virginity to Beverly.
Why?
What? It's explained in the book, and Stephen King has said that he's had his mixed feelings about why he put it in there.
He was so full on coke at the time.
Yeah, but basically they came up with the idea that because Pennywise feeds on fear and on children's fear, especially, that if they lost their virginities and became adults in this way, that they would be able to overcome Pennywise because they were more mature.
Okay, that sounds like a diabolical justification of like one of the kids who's like, hey, I guess we have to do this. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying because
I don't want to do this, but
I don't want to. Like, I don't want Pennywise to come back. Do you want Pennywise? Maybe you do want Pennywise. Me personally, I don't want Pennywise to come back and kill kids. Maybe we do. That's cool.
And that's part of the other thing, like King says, is that it was like, well, they would have like a shared experience. It's kind of replaced in the movie with them. With them all, it's replaced in the movie with them all cutting their hands and so which is a much better way to connect people to each other.
I have to know now because it's disturbing. So I need my blankie here to make me feel better. So you said shared experience. So when you said gangbang, that sounds a little bit more aggressive than a shared experience. So I'm hoping that that's not what you actually meant.
That's what people call it when they refer to it, but I don't think it's called that in the book.
Okay, good. I mean, it's still fucked up, but like that at least takes a little bit away.
Basically, the whole chapter in the book that this takes place in was told from Beverly's perspective.
Well, so question. Yeah. Was she at least consenting in this? They didn't like. They didn't take her.
I believe she was consenting.
Okay, well, at least I mean it's still fucked up, but like at least I was.
If I remember correctly, it's basically they all take a turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fucked up, but like I was thinking the worst. I'm like, because like especially in a movie, she's molested by her own father, and I like it would just be horrible.
Yeah.
If her friends did the same thing to her as her own father, that would just make me like hate this story. Like 100. Like,
in the book, her father is. I think it's implied that he molests her, and it's he also beats her.
In the movie, it's implied that. Well, the movie doesn't imply beating her, but
yeah, in the book he's very, very abusive. Also, unlike the movie, in the book the mom is still alive, and she kind of just lets things happen, and she gets beaten too.
Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't know that little tidbit that you told me about. About the shared experience, Mike. I kind of could have lived without knowing about that.
I know, me too, but because I know it, you have to know it.
That's not fair. That's not. If I suffer, you have to suffer. That's not a good.
Yeah,
that's not a good Jesus ethics, Christian ethics, or Baha'i ethics, or Muslim ethics, or Hindu whatever, ethics, Buddhist ethics. Good. Guys, when you said that, I was like so worried for a second. I was like, oh no, please don't say that they like fucking raped her. Like that would just be the worst ending ever of this movie. Because that way it would have been even fucked up, because then it would be like Pennywise had won, like he had corrupted them, and so now he's working through them essentially, kind of like with the Henry kid. Because like Pennywise in this movie, he gets into this like really abusive kid named Henry. He like gets into his mind and turns him into like a super crazy murderer who killed his own father and then was trying to kill all the other kids. Try to shoot a cat as well, which that really pissed me off. And anyway, we don't have to talk about the whole movie, but like it's basically like there's other things that he said in the book too, like because that's the other thing too, when this is being told in the book, it surfaces as a repressed memory from Bev. I mean, not Beth. Oh, I wonder why that would be a repressed memory. You know, one can only wonder. Traveled the depths of the sewers of the mind.
Right, and I guess it should in the book. As an adult, that this is actually not in the. I'm not spoiling anything because it doesn't happen in chapter 2. But she has a sex scene with Bill, an adult Bill, and then it comes back to her about this whole scene.
So does she hate the rest of them then after remembering this, or?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
It's
up, man. Oh man. I do remember someone saying something about that once, but I don't remember. I must have just put it out of my mind too. The shared experience. It doesn't make sense though, because in the movie, I mean, they changed things. In the movie, he also captured like a guy who looked like he was like 17. So like, like one of the minions of Henry, basically.
But, the thing is he's not exclusively attacking children ever, but he likes children because they're the easiest to feel and they're the most vulnerable.
Sounds like Vecna.
Literally
sounds like, even with the floating with the Max thing, her floating up in the air with like her eyes all like bugging out or whatever.
I mean, it's the Stephen King influences on Stranger Things are abundant. Like there's lots of influences from different things. And I mean, like the whole idea, like the powers that the kids have in Stranger Things is very similar to The Shining. It's different things, you know, so it's like, because that's the other thing. Like when we get to when it gets to Welcome to Derry, there's, you know, they're one of the main characters in Welcome to Derry is Dick, is a younger he's in the military, Dick Halloran, who was the caretaker, well, not the caretaker, but the I don't remember what his deal was. The cook at the Overlook Hotel in The Shining.
Oh, okay. Played
by Scatman Carruthers in the movie. But it's a younger version of him was in Derry. He's also mentioned in the book briefly, but they flesh out his character more in there. But, you know, he has The Shining, and it's, you know, which is in the Stephen King universe. The Shining is basically anybody that has kind of like telekinetic or powers where they can see dead people or other things like that. So
right. And he said too, Misery even has like some kind of connection with The Shining a little bit, like not really.
That one, not really. Basically, so Misery has Misery is. I don't think it really does, because that one's kind of just more of a psycho sort of fan sort of thing. That one's less supernatural, but there is some kind of connections now that if you consider the Castle Rock TV series canon, which a lot of people don't, because it's like it's in the Stephen King universe, but it's not, because the Annie Wilkes character from Misery is the main character of the second season of that show.
Okay.
Yeah. And
he's like a nurse who just kills all her patients and shit. And
different things. Yeah.
I've seen videos about her character. Yeah. Other people.
Castle Rock. If you want some more Stephen King kind of feel, Castle Rock is a good series. Another show that's loosely based on Stephen King called Haven was really good too. It was based on the Colorado Kid. But it totally goes off in a completely different direction than the Colorado Kid. It's like a supernatural type show, but the Colorado Kid wasn't a supernatural book at all. So it's really. But the thing is like Stephen King's movies and stuff all are, I mean, not movies, but like the movies to a point, but the books all kind of take place in the same multiverse. So it's like, because I mean, the Dark Tower kind of connects them all. I have yet to read the Dark Tower, but I am a big fan. And the movie, I guess the Dark Tower was horrible. I haven't seen that yet, but compared to the books, I guess it kind of just totally fucked up what King had written. And I mean, the things, it's hard to adapt King to film. Yeah. Another connection, which we can get into later once you've watched more things, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, but Dreamcatcher.
Oh, I've seen that.
Which it takes place in Derry. So
interesting. Okay.
So there's a lot of similarities between it and that, and there's one major one which is revealed in the It books and stuff like that makes it interesting. So
I mean, the villain and Dreamcatcher is pretty much like an It type character. I mean, it might be the same, but it's the same.
There's an alien and things like that. So it's
kind of mentality. It's a little bit different. He operates a little bit more differently than It does, but still, it's similar. I wonder why they all flock to Derry. That should be an interesting thing if they ever explain that. Why they all like to go to one specific town.
Yeah, it's like Derry appears in a few of the things. There's also the town of Haven, like I mentioned. There's also Castle Rock is another town, which was also the name of Rob Reiner's production company. Rest in peace. Yes. The week that we recorded this, sadly, Rob Reiner was murdered by his son, as well as Michelle Singer Reiner was murdered as well. So... Yeah.
And our piece of shit so-called leader couldn't, wait 12 hours to say something nice about him. And fuck him.
I don't know how far in the future this episode will come out from that, but still, it's still raw. And I mean, he's one of Stand By Me is based on Stephen King's The Body, and Misery is based on Stephen King's Misery. And Stephen King and Rob Reiner were pretty good friends. And he, after he directed Stand By Me, he decided to name his company Castle Rock because he was a big Stephen King fan. So, yeah. And then Castle Rock went on to it produced a bunch of things, including like the Seinfeld TV series and different things like that. So, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I guess even at one time, Rob Reiner kind of wanted to direct it, but he didn't like the scariness of it. So
yeah, not his style.
But if you want in my opinion, a perfect Stephen King adaptation, Misery.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kathy Bates' performance in that movie, as well as James Caan's in that movie, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, especially her. She deserved that Academy Award she got. So anywho, back to it. Any scenes that you want to talk about that stood out to you?
Yeah. The beginning scene, that's a good way to start.
Yeah.
When they build this little boat with wax because it's raining out. It's a really bad storm out. And Georgie, which is Bill's younger brother, he ends up hitting a fence or some kind of it's one of those like traffic barrier type things. Yeah. And so he couldn't grab the bow in time before it went into the sewer, and that's when Pennywise was just kind of waiting for him, and then basically tricked him into taking the bow and then bit his arm off and then dragged him. Apparently nobody in this town pays attention to shit, seems like. Just some kid screaming with his arm cut off. So
that's the thing with it being in the sewers. There's some explanations and different things, and I think in the book they talk about this. It's not necessarily in the movie. And they talk about it in Welcome to Derry, but I'm not ruining anything by saying this. Basically, because he lives in the sewers and different things happen through the water and different things, the adults in this town are basically become numb to anything.
Oh, I see.
Not completely. I mean, they live their lives and they're happy and they're sad and whatnot and everything, but they somehow always turn a blind eye to like kids being abused or kids being beaten up by bullies or anything. Because there's a scene later in the movie where Ben is like being beat up on this overpass over top of a river on this bridge or whatever by the bullies, and like this old couple just drives by and kind of looks at them, and that just kind of shows you the attitude of the people in the town. And the same thing, like in this scene, there's like this old lady who kind of just notices Georgie playing out there but doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So that was a pretty pivotal scene. The other one I really like or was more taken in by was when the hallucinations that he gives to each kid, but also the one that really freaked me out was when they're in the they're in the garage and they're looking at this map, and this projector starts showing like family photos, like, and it's just clicking, and then eventually there's like looks like there's like a picture of Georgie like with the family, and then it looks like their mother, but then like her hair keeps like kind of flapping around the wind, and eventually you see Pennywise's face. Then he comes out of the screen. I mean, God, Jesus Christ! Like I don't know how any of them would be able to like just live after that. Like that's the other thing that kind of pisses me off about this movie is like how stupid they're being a lot of times, where it's just like, you guys realize like what's going on, right? You're just like walking into danger, but like not like in a cool brave way, like you're just being stupid about it. Like,
it's one of the things too, like I guess like Bill Skarsgård was so scary that he went out of his way to try to be nice to the kids because he didn't want them to be too scared. Because I mean, these were literally like 11 and 12-year-olds in this movie.
No, they were not old at all.
Yeah.
No, not even a little bit. And there's that one that really freaked me out. The one with Beverly when she put down the not the ruler, what do you call it? The tape ruler. Is that what they call it? Tape ruler down her sink.
Tape measure.
Thank you. Tape measure.
Yeah.
Out in her sink, and then she puts it up. There's a bunch of blood. And then like a bunch of, because earlier she cut her hair because she blamed her hair for basically making her dad attracted to her, which is really fucked up. And so she cut her hair.
That was a good addition. I don't believe that's in the book.
Because that's like something that like what a child would say to themselves as they blame themselves for what an adult is doing. So she's blaming her hair, saying, you did this, because she had long hair or whatever. And so she cut a bunch of her hair off and then just kind of put it in the sink, which is really fucked up. Why would you do that? It's going to clog your sink. But anyway, but then all the hair kind of flew up, and then it was like tangling like around her neck, trying to literally suck her into the sink, or at least that was the hallucination she was having, it seems like. And then because her dad comes in the bathroom and he's like, what the hell's going on? And she's like, there's blood everywhere. And he's just like, what are you talking about? There's no blood anywhere. What are you talking about? And he's like, you're really starting to worry me. It's like, dude, you're molesting your own daughter. What are you talking about? She's worrying you.
It's so, and it's so fucked up how, like, you know, where it even somebody who's abusing their kid can't see the fact that they're the villain. You know, it's like,
right. Or that they're acting weird. I wonder why they're acting weird. You know, because we kind of figure out pretty early on. Actually, there's some foreshadowing before that I didn't really think anything of until after I saw that scene, because before, so there Ben gets beat up or whatever. They find him. They take him to the pharmacy to get some supplies for him, you know, because he got cut by Henry Henry cut his initials into his side or his belly or whatever.
Right in his belly. Right. He like talks about the fact that, you know, Ben is fat, so he's gonna cut into his fat. Yeah, which
doesn't make any sense. But okay, and then like just literally physically makes no sense. But like, the fat's just gonna spill out. What are you talking about, moron? Like, it doesn't work that way, you idiot. So, but Henry's a fucking moron in this movie. So,
I mean, if it did, it'd be a great way to lose weight. You can just like cut yourself, and then all of a sudden it goes.
Right. So we get this scene where Beverly just happens to be going there too. She basically helps him out because she knows who Ben is, because, you know, she had just met him like earlier in the day or something like that, and she kind of knew that people are already kind of picking on him. So they're like, we don't have enough money to buy all this stuff. She's like, oh, no problem. So she goes up to kind of basically be on the lookout so they can go steal the supplies and stuff. And she does this by essentially flirting with the pharmacist, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this might just be like one of those things where it's like, you know, usually an older person likes being talked up like they're,
because she says he looks like Clark Kent with his glasses on.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like that seemed like innocent enough. It doesn't have to be anything like dark about that. But when she gets home and she's got, you know, tampons or whatever, and then her dad finds a bag and he's like upset that she's growing up because, you know, he guess he won't be attracted to her anymore. Oh, God forbid that you won't be attracted to your daughter as she grows up, fucking weirdo. Like, you know, but then that kind of made it feel a little bit darker though, because
I mean, even if it's not the growing up part, it's also the fact that, I mean, it's more the growing up. Maybe I think that he's afraid that other men will find her attractive. You know,
okay, yeah, and then God forbid, you know, that would happen. Yeah, so there's like an emotional incest going on as well as the physical, which is But like, then I thought about that scene though, and I was like, oh, this scene kind of feels a lot more darker now because it's like she's used to the idea of older men like seeing her. You know what I mean? Like, and so.
I mean, and if you look at like every one of the kids has like something that sets them apart from the rest of the world. I mean, you've got the thing with Ben is, you know, he's the fat kid, but he's also the new kid.
He's a new kid and he's like a nerd. I mean, he reads. Yeah. He's not a nerd, but he reads a lot. And
the thing is, like in this movie, it's interesting that they decided to put all of the like kind of researching type person into Ben. In the book, it's Mike, but I think the reason that they did this is because for some reason they introduced Mike to the rest of the kids later in the story than it is in the book for some reason. So I do feel like the two that get like short shrifted or whatever, or short shafted in this movie are Mike and Stanley, the black kid and the Jew, basically. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, all of them. That's the other thing. All of them have trauma, or they have abusive parents. Like it's either one or the other, or both.
And the thing is, it's like, so like, you know, Mike has a grandfather who's raising him, who
is kind of just sort of like not really mean, but just sort of like how the world is, you know, kind of thing.
He's like a manly man,
right?
And, you know, if anybody listening to this has seen Welcome to Derry, it'll explain why he's like that. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to spoil that for anybody that hasn't. So,
all right.
But basically, you know, you've got I'm reading this article. It's got broken down of like the different types of characters you got here. So you got the fat kid, the town's only black kid, the Jew, the stutterer, the nerdy kid with glasses, and the girl who the school just decides is a slut for no particular reason.
Right. There's like literally no That was the other thing too that I didn't understand, because like there was no like actual like rumors, usually, not always, but rumors usually start from something,
Well,
and then
usually
it turns into something else. But like
usually
was-
the slut thing comes from jealousy, but
that too.
that's the usual thing, because like I've had, I've seen that it happened to girls when I was in like, what they now call middle school, or when I was in high school. I saw that happen to girls. And I mean, there's also like, the rumors will start about different things, like or somebody will find one thing to pick on you about, and then that becomes the one thing they focus on, and it has nothing to do with who you really are, whether it's the slut thing or they focus on a kid with glasses, or a kid who's fat, or a kid who's black, or whatever. It's whatever. Yeah. Like,
you're right.
Well, I was so I had so I was born with light brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
As I got older, it got darker, almost to a black at one point. And then I would still have blonde highlights in my hair.
Right.
So when
I was born with like completely like white blonde hair.
Me too. I was kind of blonde when I was like 3. There's like I've got a photo of myself where I've got like I look like the blonde little Dutch boy on the Dutch boy paint cans. But there's but as I got older, all I would have is like these blonde highlights in it. So the kids in my school noticed those, and they thought they were gray hair. So they would make fun of me and call me old fogey. And so that hurt like hell for some reason, because they just kept making fun of me and calling me old, even though I was like the same age as them. It's just like,
Steve Martin. I mean,
what's that guy? I went to high school with a kid. I went to high school with this kid who had a patch of blonde of gray hair or white hair on the side of his head.
Yeah,
it happens. My mom had gray hair when she was in 7th grade, so it's like different things happen.
My brother, he had some too. But that was because I think he almost got struck by lightning once when he was a kid. The lightning just like went like past him like crazy.
So I mean, kids will pick on you for the stupidest things, but I mean, the main thing with this movie and the whole world is like the fact that the adults just don't give a shit that these kids are picking on other kids. And
I mean, they'll put up like missing persons stuff, but like that's about it. Like they don't really. Like it's usually because it's their own kid that's the one that's missing. Like no one else gives a shit. Like
there's a scene in this too where they show the fact that there's this missing poster up, and underneath it is another missing girl, and it's like, oh, they've already forgotten about the other kid who went missing. It's it's just so sad because it happens so often. I mean, like they talk about it, like Ben talks about it one time, where like it's like 6 times people go missing 6 times more than the national average.
Right.
And that was just adults. Kids were more. So it's like, yeah. I mean, the whole movie, it's like, so, it's like the whole idea of like, there's this whole idea of like a loss of a childhood innocence that we can glean from this whole story. Like it's it's very much the whole kids becoming young adults sort of thing, and coming of age.
It is very, I know it's fucked up like in a lot of ways, because of like I guess the places they go to and stuff. It reminds me of Stand By Me a little bit. Like they're like by the bridge. I mean, I know it's not at all the same kind of movie, but like there's like physical things that go on in this movie, like the environment. I mean, like the physical environment around them.
The thing is, Stand By Me in this, I mean, there's stereotypes of both the characters. I mean, the characters, there's like similar archetypes in the characters in this and that. And I mean, they're both Stephen King, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing. A lot of people had forgotten for years that Stand By Me was Stephen King, because it's based on short story The Body. So
it's probably not even the same thing too with like The Monkey, when the movie was made off a short story. Although I would say Stand By Me is a much better depiction of a short story than The Monkey was. No offense, but
it's like Shawshank Redemption, the Stephen King, and people are like, that's weird because it's not like a horror thing at all. And people always associate him with horror, but he's so much more than that, And there's other stories too that are indicative of him. Like Carrie and Christine and Salem's Lot and stuff like that are definitely horror. Cujo. Pet Cemetery, stuff like that. But it's but the thing is like I do think the interesting thing about it's like it takes aspects of The Body or Stand By Me and then mixes it in with the horror. And I don't know which was written first. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole thing is too, it's like it's the whole it aspect too. It's kind of like that whole like idea of the fear of growing up too. Like you've got this thing that's trying to almost prevent you from growing up.
Yeah.
And, basically making you stay forever a child by having taking you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's
but yeah, I might actually watch part
so
of
good.
chapter 2. I even like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. And I mean, and we'll cover it soon. I think we should definitely sometime soon. And it's interesting to see like who plays them as adults and how kind of good casting it was.
Yeah.
Like Finn Wolfhard's character is played by Bill Hader as an adult. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Hader, was he from SNL?
Yeah, Bill Hader from SNL.
Yeah.
And the TV show Barry. And,
right there, yeah.
So let me see here. Why is it like can't find stuff when I want it right away? Yeah, in It Chapter 2, so we've got the cast in that, you've got Jessica Chastain playing Beverly Marsh, that Sophia Lillis plays. You got James McAvoy plays Bill. Bill Hader plays Richie. Isaiah Mustafa, who's the Old Spice guy. Those commercials like
he plays Mike.
Yeah, he plays Mike. I'm on a horse, that guy, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. He's good as Mike too. Yeah, it's funny. And then you got Jay Ryan as Ben, James Hanscom as Eddie, and Andy Bean as Stan. But it's interesting because they cast people really well that look like the kids as adults.
Right. Yeah. That's something I always like a lot. Like I didn't really like that Han Solo movie that much because the actor didn't look anything like. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a good actor, but like he didn't look anything like Harrison Ford. So
yeah.
I was like, it was hard for me to suspend disbelief.
I mean, Alden Ehrenreich is a great actor.
Yeah,
and he did have some of the aspects of Harrison Ford, but he wasn't quite right. And I mean, he probably got cast for his acting abilities, but it just didn't totally. I mean, the thing is like I do like it sometimes when they cast people based on their acting ability as opposed to how much they look like somebody. Like when you're doing a biopic or doing somebody of a younger or older version of somebody, but I mean, but sometimes they're so far off that it doesn't work. And then there's also the times where they'll cast somebody that looks exactly like somebody that just can't act or can't pull off or doesn't pull off the mannerisms right or whatever, And that's the other thing too, is like the adult versions of the kids, from what I understand from the background, is that they spent time with each other so they can learn their mannerisms. Like I saw an interview with Bill Hader where he was just talking about how he watched video of Finn Wolfhard over and over again so he could get mannerisms down. So
that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But yeah.
Can I sing a song? I just made up.
Sure, you can do that. Yeah, I don't know if we have anything else to say about it.
No, I don't really.
I think it's a great film. I mean, the one main thing you got to understand is that it's about child abuse and stuff like that. That's basically what it is, and ignorance and neglect from parents in a lot of way that a lot of us went through in the 80s. Not really, but yeah. So go ahead and sing your song here, Sesame.
Okay. Don't go into the sewer. Don't go into the sewer. Don't go into the sewer. I can't sing very well and play at the same time. Okay.
Was that the song?
Don't go into the sewer. Don't go in the sewer. Don't go sewer. Don't go sewer. Don't go sewer. I'm actually a good musician. This makes me sound like a terrible at this, but
there's a link to some of his music and stuff in the show notes, I believe.
Don't use this as your back, as your introduction to me.
Yes.
I'm much better than what I'm doing right now.
Yes. But I mean, we can't wait for the orchestrated version of Don't Go in the Sewer.
Oh, it's written right now.
Maybe when we cover chapter 2.
By then I might have it written, yeah.
Yes, we will have Don't Go into the Sewer chapter 2.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean this film does, like I said, it covers like all of the tropes, I believe, of like horror films too. You got the creepy house, you've got the creepy creature. And I mean, they did like update a bunch of the things too from the book, the way that the character does present itself. One of the interesting things is the one that they stuck to is like the old like creepy kind of like homeless looking guy that's by the house that
oh right, yeah, that dude
that Eddie sees. That he was creepier in the book.
Oh really?
But he was still that character. In the book, he kept offering to give Eddie a blowjob.
Oh my God.
Look, Stephen King was fucked up. There were other things he wrote in the book. He would talk about, and he's talking about children here.
He's talking about minors having group sex.
Yeah.
The turtle that is created the universe, who's also the sibling of the killer clown alien. What the fuck, dude?
He would talk about in the book like how like I guess I can't remember the exact details, but it was basically talking about like how Bill's genitals felt to him when he was experiencing things and shit.
Right. I mean, yeah, I know the 80s were a different time, but Jesus, man. It's like,
he's talking about like a 12 or 13 year old kid.
Fuck, dude. God damn it. I don't want to know this shit, Steven. God, take a break from the coke. Move on to some Quaaludes. There we go. Back to that one again. Wait, incest and Quaaludes, because we just talked about the incest from the movie. Anyway,
yes,
that's a weird. You'll get the reference later on when that video gets put out.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. I mean, like, so yeah, here's some like trivia that we'll go through really quick about this. Jack Dylan Grazer, who plays Eddie, was the first one out of all the kids to work with Bill Skarsgård. During their scene, Grazer would cry and gag while Skarsgård was right in his face, yelling and drooling. Skarsgård was genuinely concerned for Grazer, and after the scene ended, asked him if he was okay. Grazer looked at him and said, "Love what you're doing with the character." Skarsgård was less confused and impressed at Grazer's attitude, calling the child actors little professionals. So I guess he was worried about Grazer, but Grazer was just acting. So
he was just like really getting into it, right? Yeah.
Interesting thing, like when another thing too that I'm going to mention too is like Bill Skarsgård, the drooling that Pennywise does. I guess the way that the teeth that he had in and his mouth and everything made him drool.
Oh, okay.
When Andy Muschietti liked it so much that he just made the character drool more and more.
Wow.
And another thing too is the way that people would think that CGI was used for Pennywise's eyes to move independently in the scenes where he could. No, Bill Skarsgård can do that.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Yes. So yeah, like the smile is real, the eyes stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, Bill Skarsgård is a creepy, good actor.
What else has he been in?
He was in Nosferatu recently. He's in, like I told you, he was in Castle Rock, the TV series.
Oh, right.
He was in the unfortunate remake of The Crow.
Oh man!
Which I started watching that the other day. Starting out, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be, but it's not good either.
Yeah.
He's in like John Wick Chapter 4. He's in the movie The Barbarian. He was in Wicked Singularity, Castle Rock TV series. He was in Deadpool 2.
Oh,
he's in one of the Divergent movies. He's in I'm trying to think of anything. A bunch of Swedish films before that. But yeah, this was like his big break, I guess. But
cool.
Yeah, he's got and he's in it. Welcome to Derry, reprising his role as Pennywise. Yeah, he's got a movie that came out this year called Dead Man's Wire, which looks like a interesting movie about a guy who takes somebody hostage. So anyways, he's a great actor, but yeah, it's interesting that he was able to do that shit with his eyes.
Yeah,
I can spin my eyes, but that's different, which freaks people out. Yeah. So any other thoughts here before we wrap things up?
No. Well, actually, hold on. Don't go into the sewer.
Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode. We will cover Chapter 2 sometime in the near future. Might be the next week, depending on when I decide to release episodes and stuff. But hope you enjoyed this. Kind of a little loopy today. I'm not feeling that great. But make sure you check out all2reeltoo.com. It's a good place to find all of our social media links, all of our episodes of the show. And also has links to where you can help us out on our TeePublic and our Patreon. TeePublic, you can get some nice merch with our logo on it and other shit that we created. Also, if you go to the Patreon, you can help support the show, become a patron. It's the best way to help support the show. Give us as little as $5 a month, $1 a month, whatever. It's cheaper than Netflix.
Cheaper than going into the sewer as well. So that's why I'm stuck here. Sorry.
Are you stuck in the sewer?
I'm stuck in the sewer. I can't do anything about it right now.
That's okay. Are you floating?
No, not floating. I'm just kind of sitting in the water. Kind of gross, but I did bring some books with me. So.
Is it gray water?
No, it just looked kind of clear to me. It's kind of, I'm not sure why. It's kind of weird. It shouldn't be clear, but I guess.
So there's no like shit or piss in there or anything?
No, I don't weird. It's actually kind of nice in here. Maybe I'm not in the sewer. I don't know, but I'm some underground.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah,
is there anybody else there?
Yeah, it's a dude next to me dressed as a clown. Oh my god.
Is he cool?
He's actually okay. He's not scary though. Actually, pretty chill dude.
Is he like a Ronald McDonald clown, or was he?
No, he looks more like I don't know. I can't continue his bits.
So yeah. Well, I hope he treats you well. Anyways, we'll let Sesame hang out in the sewer there. But while I tell people that trans lives are human lives. I know human is illegal. Don't go in the sewer. Free Palestine. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck ICE.
Be careful.
Okay. I'll buy a Trump derangement syndrome. And be different, be yourself, folks. Remember that I love you. They're gazebos. They're bullshit. Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.